Hey y'all, so I'm in the car, as you can tell, outside of my second home, which is Starbucks. It is torrential raining out here, and it has been a minute since I've given you an update. If you are new to my channel, you may not know, but this channel is based on my lifestyle vlogs, my life, my breakup, starting my life over. Y'all see how sunny it is? What is this mess? Of all times to try to go to the grocery store. You know what I mean? I even wear flip-flops because I'm like, oh, it feels nice outside. It's wonderful, wonderful. But anyway, I'm very real. I vlog from inside my car. I talk to y'all about real world issues, what I'm going through, breakups, potential dates that I meet people through apps. I'm trying to date again. Keyword being trying. It's an absolute disaster. I am sick again. I had to take 2 more days off of work. I'm sick a lot. If you don't know, I have autoimmune issues. We're not sure exactly what I have or what I suffer from, but it just makes everything more difficult. So you'll notice I cough a lot. I'm sick sometimes in these vlogs. It's how it is. Until we can figure out how to get a grip on it. But anyway, so this is just an update. I've been back to Charleston, where I'm from, one more time since the last time I vlogged that I was going. I still haven't put up the first vlog of Charleston. I need to do that. There's so many things I need to do. I went back to visit a good friend. She had somebody close to her pass away, and I went back as a support to just love on her, be with her, go to church, rent a hotel. No regrets, absolutely love doing that and spending time with her and just being able to be hopefully the best friend that I possibly could be, because she's always been there for me and everything. So I was just really sorry she had to go through what she had to go through. I saw my other good friend while I was there too. I miss living back home. Currently I live in Easley, South Carolina. I moved up here because I was in a relationship with somebody. They bought a house up here in this area. We thought it was going to work, and it did not work. And so I moved out by myself with a roommate. I'm working full-time as a teacher, trying to, in between being unbelievably sick, and I'm just trying to start my life over, which is so much easier said than done. I am a faith-based channel and person. My religion, Christianity, is extremely important to me. I will talk about the Lord, my relationship, what I go through and my sacrifices, and what I've learned and how He's protected me. And y'all, it will not always be pretty. It will not always be pretty, because this journey is often exhausting and defeating and tiring, and we oftentimes feel hopeless. But I come to you as a real person that I hope that others can relate to, that are also struggling in this economy and with relationships and with their job, and they're burned out and they're just trying to make it. I hope I stand for all of those people. And obviously I am a woman. I do come from a woman's perspective. But, I always try to include men and women in any issues I talk about, because I think we all face same or similar things, just in different ways. Everybody matters. Everybody's pain is valid, and it should be validated. I want you to know, if you're a different religion, walk of life, you're welcome here on my channel. My vlogs, at least up until this point, are not scripted or written out. I do them when I feel led to, when I have the energy, when I feel like I have a point to make, when I want to give an update on my life and say, hey, I'm still here. This still is going, even if I haven't made much progress. And sometimes y'all, I think we make progress and we don't see it or realize it until later on. And then we look back and we're like, you know what? We weren't doing that bad. We weren't doing that bad. We felt like we were. I have days where I totally feel like I'm drowning in the rain, literally. I have to go back to work tomorrow, and I have anxiety about it because I'm still sick. I have a violent cough. I'm on more medicine. And my doctor wants me to go to a bunch of specialists I can't afford. And he wants me to be tested and get all this stuff done. Now, granted, I have decided, and I let my work know that I'm going to be going back to Charleston in a week and a half, to get a throat scope, a second one for my ENT, see if they can see anything, see if they have any other creative ideas. And it's going to cost a lot of money, and I'm just going to have to be billed for it. It's one of the only places my insurance covers, so I have to go back home to do it. And I secured a hotel. I got a little bit of tax money back so far, and I was able to get a hotel with it. I love the idea of staying with friends and stuff, but I just don't really want to inconvenience anybody, and I'm not really there for like social stuff. I'm there for medical purposes only, and I have to go back to work on Friday, so it's going to be a very quick trip. And so it's just more relaxing and easier to do it this way. But I'll let you know if they find anything out in that throat scope of what could be potentially going on. If you don't know about my medical history, I don't respond to medications well, if at all. I'm very medication resistant. I get lots of upper respiratory sicknesses. This past time I was sick 3 months ago with bronchitis, I still have a raspy cough. It's still raspy when I breathe in, and like, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's really crackly. And the doctor doesn't know where the cough's coming from. My lungs look okay. He x-rayed my throat. He didn't see anything, but yet my throat was swollen. I feel like I need to it's too much information. It's probably too much information, but like just cough up stuff constantly. And in that way it's productive, but it's not in that it doesn't heal. It just keeps going and going and going and getting worse. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm dealing with or what not. Today, so this vlog's just kind of all over the place. It's just an update to let you know what's been going on. Today I was supposed to go on a date with somebody that I had met on Facebook dating. I'm sad about it because a couple weeks ago I met somebody that presented himself like a great guy. He was in his 30s. He had 2 kids. He apparently, like everything I heard, he loved his children. He talked about them. He sent me pictures. He sent me pictures of himself. And he had a strong faith in the Lord. He had a survival story he shared with me. Now, when I told my friends about this person, because I had to let them know if I'm kind of talking to somebody and who he is, my one friend is always very speculative, very careful, very wise. She stepped back and was like thinking, why is he sharing all this with you? This is a lot of heavy information. You just met him. And I could tell she had major reservations about it. Like, she told me to be careful. Like, she liked that he was a Christian, but I could tell there was just something she felt was off. This person and I had conversations daily. We sent voice messages. We sent emails back and forth to each other, or texts. We sent, well, technically emails, messages back and forth on the app. Really thought he was great. Shared his flaws with me, shared his life, how he started over. I was able to share stuff about myself. I saw his social media. To me, and again, granted, if you don't know me, you don't know that I've been in a lot of unhealthy, toxic relationships that unfortunately haven't worked out. And there's probably a huge reason why they haven't worked out. I don't think I'm able to see red flags easily. I think that I'm very empathetic. I want to believe people. I don't want to believe the worst in people first. I want to believe they're sharing who they are authentically with me. But this story woke me up. So we originally scheduled a date in downtown Greenville to meet at a Starbucks. But because the parking was like so bad down there, we just actually, I'd mentioned Cracker Barrel, that I really like Cracker Barrel, and he said he did too. And I was like, why don't we, sorry, my nose itches, why don't we meet there instead? And he was like, okay, that could be a good idea. But yeah, let's do that. We scheduled to meet there today at 12 o'clock. I should have already had a date. I should have already been like smiling and laughing and at least having a good time. I should have had somebody show up for me. I deserve that. But that's not what happened. So a couple of days before the date, he sent me a voice message. He was pulling into a gas station. I feel so silly telling this story. because I don't know. I need to write this stuff down. He pulled into a gas station, and he told me he was pulling into a gas station, and he responded to something I had just said, which I had been telling him about a little child in my class that was 3 years old. And I was like, you have some competition. I was like, my 3-year-old wants to take me on a Disney ride, and, you know, all this other stuff. And I was just being cute, talking to him about it. He read the messages, and I noticed there was no response. And I was like, he usually always responds. A little bit later that night, I sent him another message. I said, hey, just let me know if you got home okay. I just want to make sure you're safe. I didn't hear anything back from you. I didn't hear anything. The next day, I went to work, and I expected at some point to hear from him that day. Just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I worked the night shift at my work, because he did. He sometimes worked the night shift, and he had just been sick. And so I was worried about him, and I was like, he hasn't messaged me back. I sent him another voice message, and then I decided to call them, which I know sounds like extra, but I watch a lot of true crime. I do not like the idea of somebody being at a gas station at night. That's the last you hear from him, and then nothing. That really bothers me. So I called him, and it went straight to voicemail. And I was like, what is going on? Because our date was like in 2 days. We weren't fighting. The last conversation, we were completely friendly. In my mind, I'm like, oh no, maybe he left his phone at the gas station. It got stolen, and I just wanted to make sure he was okay. I think I actually thought after I did this next thing. I checked his social media. His Instagram, his pictures were deleted. Everything was gone. His Facebook, I couldn't find it. I don't think he deleted his Facebook. I don't know why it wasn't coming up at first for me, because it does now. But I knew immediately when I went on his Instagram something was wrong. That's when I thought, oh my gosh, somebody stole his identity. Somebody got his phone and wiped his stuff. So I asked my friend what I should do about it. Because immediately I went into like investigator mode, and I'm like, I don't know if he's okay. I know where he works because he told me. I had this guttural feeling that something was wrong. And I can't explain that. I just get it. It's an intuition. I think a lot of women get it. I think sometimes we get it and we think it's saying something, but it's actually saying something else. So, okay, I talked to my friend, and she said, you know what? This sounds really, really creepy and crazy. She's like, why don't you just call the non-emergency number in his area? Let him know what happened. Before I did that, I looked up his job, the number for his job. And I called them, and I'm like, hey, you don't have to tell him I called. I just want to make sure this person is okay. Because the last time I talked to him, he was at a gas station. We were good. We planned a date, and like, I have no communication with him anymore. And so the person said they were new. They took down my phone number. They couldn't like confirm or deny really anything. They did say somebody named Taylor worked there. So I was like, okay, well, he works there. I knew he did. Or I felt like he did. And I think he did. Anyway, so time went by, nothing that day. That's when my friend said, okay, call the non-emergency line. I did. The person that talked to me was some kind of like police officer or something. I gave her my story. She said, do you know his home address? We could do a wellness check. I said, I don't know his home address. I just met this person. I literally am just calling out of concern. And she said, well, if you know his work number, let me have my deputy call you back. And you could tell them your story and just see if they could help you more. So I waited a little while, a couple hours later, when I should have been in the shower asleep for work. At this point, I was totally stressed, exhausted. I didn't know what was going on. The deputy calls me back. I tell her the story. And her concern was not that the guy was at the gas station the last time. Her concern was not that his phone got stolen. She was literally like, it sounds like you got ghosted. It sounds like you did it on purpose. And I was like, why? I was thinking, I didn't say, but I was like, why would he do something like that on purpose? Why not just tell me? Why drive into a gas station, send me a message, be completely normal, fine, happy, or I thought he was, plan a date with me, have a time, you know, he's asked me about the color of flowers I liked, like really trying to put thought and effort into the date, setting it up, and then boom, he falls off the face of the earth. I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that at all. So I was like, well, that might have happened, but I just really want to make sure he's okay. And she's like, if you have the number for his work, I'll call him. Calls me back, literally, I kid you not, 15 seconds later. And is like, he's at work and he's fine. Here I am. I have shared my social media, my life, my story with this person. I trusted that they were who they said they were. And I was looking forward to our date. And he didn't present himself to be like a super cute guy. He didn't. He showed me his flaws. He told me about them. He had such a story, a survival story. All of it I was drawn to. All of it probably would have been a trauma mod for me. All of it the Lord probably protected me from. All of it. But I was so shocked that it took me like a couple of days to even start to like fade out of that. I wanted like answers as to why that happened to me. Why would somebody, it's one thing, I mean, it's mean, but if you meet somebody, you talk to them and you're like, okay, this isn't going anywhere, this is not worth my time, and then you like decide to just not talk to him anymore. Why block him? I think that's a really rude way to go about it. Why not just tell him or not say anything anymore? I don't know, but this guy I had talked to daily. We had talked about our faith, Christianity. I felt victimized by the fact that he said he was a Christian because I could relate to it, and I love talking about like religion. And he said he had like this Bible bag, this Jesus bag he carried everywhere with him, with like a journal and his Bible, and he would intentionally write about his faith. He was motivating me to be a better person. And then he's just gone. And I'm supposed to just sum that up like, oh, I got ghosted, it's fine. It's fine. Because it happens to everybody. It shouldn't happen to everybody. This shouldn't happen to everybody. It makes your soul feel sick. It makes you feel used. I trusted somebody that no matter what the scenario was, whether he talked to an ex and they blocked me, whatever it was, he could have gotten on the phone at work and called me and said, I'm sorry, I have to cancel everything, I have stuff going on, I can't explain it, you're a great girl, I wish you the best of luck. And that would have been it for me. And I would have respected that. Not like this. Not like this. This is not how this story was supposed to go. So anyway, I gotta stop being so hung up because it's whatever happened, and it's over, and I'm blocked, and there was no date. But there should have been. So anyway, that's not stopping me. I'm still talking to people on these apps, but with a different mindset, with understanding how careful I have to be. Just because they have social media doesn't make them real. Just because they're telling me a whole bunch of things about themselves doesn't make it valid. I don't know how to be careful enough about getting to know someone anymore. And women are reporting this and reporting it and reporting it over and over and over. That person looks like they're coming right by my car. They're not, but see how careful I'm being. I don't know how to trust people. Do y'all have advice on this? On dating, on what's normal, what's healthy, what are red flags, what should I be looking for? It's like I love transparency, but there can be a thing where there's too much transparency. I know this is a season. I'm ready for the season to be over. I'd love to go back home. I'm feeling sad today. But that's okay, because that's part of the journey and these vlogs, because I want to bring you exactly where I am. I want us to meet each other right where we are. I want us to meet in the middle. I want us to meet in the gray area where we're not always motivational and okay. We're not always full of advice or hope. But we look back and we go, but I'm not there anymore. I look forward to rewatching these videos one day. Hopefully, by then I'll have a significant other that has either kids or I'll have kids. it will be in a different life, and I'll have a different perspective, and I'll see these videos and go, but you lived that and you survived it. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself, because it wasn't easy, and there was progress being made even when you felt like that tide was taking you out to the ocean, taking you out to the sea. You still stood your ground and you held on to that rock. And for me, that rock is the Lord. For me, that rock is my friends. It's my friends on here. I hate to call like followers, because y'all are supporters and y'all care. And you watch not because this is super entertaining, but because you can relate, and because your heart, I'm sure, often goes out to me, and vice versa. And I thank you for that, and for being here, and for reminding me that this will pass. There are better people and stronger answers and more opportunities out there that just have not occurred yet in my life, but I believe that they will. I believe that they will, and I have to hang on for those. But some days it sure does feel like slipping. It sure does feel like slipping. But anyway, sorry again this is taking so long to get this out to you. I appreciate you. I am thankful for you. And I look forward to talking to you here next time. Bye, y'all.